Yeah. Sama semua. Can we hear each other? I guess so, because you looked up. Hi, Susan. Can you hear me? No. Lynn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Nice hat.
I
I
have to
know, you look like you were cold. It looks
yeah,
like
I have to do the Zoom in my little guest bedroom, and it's always a little chilly. And I'm never chilly, except when I am.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
good evening.
Are we waiting on Mary Jo? Susan, or are we just going to start since Lynn is here?
She's nonverbal tonight.
I see that. Is she supposed to be?
I don't know.
Can she hear us?
Yeah, she often has two screens up, so it could have something to
Hmm,
do with that.
that's true.
Hmm.
She's trying, you can tell. Was Martha supposed to be here, Jess?
I'm not sure. Hold on a second. She's emailing me. Hold on. Which I can't find
She
it.
needs the link. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it to send it to her.
Um,
What are you trying to find?
She needs the link to the meeting.
it's
Oh.
on her email that she sent.
Yeah, I just opened from there.
Yeah, me too.
So
Oh.
whoever gets the prize, so I can get it to her fastest,
Oh,
and I can guarantee it won't be me.
why not?
I have so many emails from her.
I just told her check her email.
I'm finding it,
Okay.
but I'm sending it to her. We'll see if it works.
It's funny that she has part of it, but not the whole thing. Hmm.
Oh, she's
Mail it to her. Send it to her.
Okay. Let's
I
do
don't know how
that.
to do that. Nope.
does she need it on text?
Let's see. Let's forward.
Okay.
There's 18. Oh yeah, I can do that.
I don't know what to do.
Jessica, I sent her the link by email to both of her email addresses.
I don't know what to, we should just, I don't know.
we got
Well, last
one.
time this did happen, I think we just got the meeting started.
Yeah.
I mean, Lynn Feldman is here and her
There's, there's 4
time
of
is
us.
finite.
So,
So maybe we should bring the meeting to order.
All right, so we're gonna bring the meeting to order on May 13th at 5:43 PM. And a roll call, starting with Mary Jo.
Johnson
Roll
here.
call. Makepeace here. Millinger is here as well. Oh, here she is.
There we go. Yay.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Lynn. Did they explain my problem to you? Can you all hear me?
yeah,
We can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing roll call.
So, okay, so I'm sorry. So I'll just shut up and let Jessica do her thing. Thank you. Lynn. Sorry for the delay for everybody.
So where were we? Millinger here, Stockton here,
Strangman here.
and we have several guests. We have Elizabeth Fernandez O'Brien, and we have Lynn Feldman from LifePath. Thank you for being here.
And Ron Meck was here, but I
He'll
don't know
be,
what happened.
I'm
to
sure
him.
he'll be back. I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Lynn Feldman from LifePath.
Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here with all of you. My name is Lynn Feldman, LifePath. I'm the Associate Executive Director and the planner for LifePath. So what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, and I'll let you guys decide how much detail you want me to go into about things. But typically what I've been doing is just sort of checking in with the Councils on Aging every couple of years, just giving a quick overview of what we are, what we do. You all probably have some knowledge. Some of you may be very knowledgeable about what we do already. Some may be less so. I'll talk a little bit about us as an organization, how we work together with Councils on Aging, and then just a couple of updates, and happy to just sort of ask, whatever questions you might have, provide answers as best I can. So LifePath, we're a private nonprofit organization, which means that we are locally run. We have a board of directors that oversees us, and we provide services throughout all of Western Mass. Our primary area is in Franklin County in the North Quabbin. We hold 2 designations. So the first designation is a federal designation called Area Agency on Aging. This is part of a decentralized network of aging support services that was created by the Older Americans Act in 1968. And it was designed to provide supportive services, nutrition services, legal services, other types of help for people living in the community past age 60. And it was it goes together with Social Security and Medicare to create a strong social safety net for older adults. One could argue it could be better funded. We could be doing more, but that is the network that exists from the federal perspective. LifePath also holds a state designation called Aging Services Access Point, or ASAP, and that is Massachusetts' name for its network of organizations that provide home care services, protective services, other state-funded programs. In the state of Massachusetts, it's actually one of the better places to age in community because there is a state budget line for home care services, which means that those services are available to folks that are subsidized. If you are over a certain income, you may pay a copay for those services. But if you need help, but you don't want to go to a nursing home, the state of Massachusetts does provide for some home care based services outside of your health insurance and outside of other programs. And then, of course, we also offer other programs that are outside of those designations, including grant-funded programs and so forth, which allow us to, just expand and provide more, bring more resources into the community to provide for older people in Shutesbury and all the communities that we serve. We've been around since 1974, and our primary focus area is to provide information and services for older adults, caregivers, and people with disabilities who want to remain safely living in the community, at home, in Franklin County in the North Quabbin. So that's in a nutshell, kind of a little bit about our organization. In my role, one of the things that I do is I connect with councils on aging and villages and provide information, support, different kinds of opportunities to work together. So some examples of ways that we typically work with councils on aging and villages. One thing that we do a lot of is cross referrals. So if you all are out in the community and you are working with an older person who may have some needs, the Council on Aging or you as a Council on Aging member could make a referral to us. You can do that right on our website, or encourage someone just to give us a call. One of the things that we do, I think, particularly well is we answer the phone when people call, and our resource consultants typically will answer a live call. If the phones are busy, we may have to give a person a call back. But you can just call and get information from us for no charge. Any question you might have that's aging related, access to healthcare, legal services, whatever struggle may be going on. So you can refer to us, and we may refer to you. If we know that a village, for example, is providing transportation services, we might make a referral to your organization to see if that person might be a good fit as a member of your group. We, with councils on aging in particular, we have co-sponsored programs. In particular, we do congregate dining. So many sites, right now we have, I think, 11 sites throughout Franklin County and the North Quabbin where we are working in partnership with senior centers and councils on aging to provide a lunchtime hot meal. So we use Older Americans Act dollars. We pay for the food. We'd send the food to you. We work with a very fine caterer out of Roxbury who prepares nutritionally balanced meals, and we deliver those to your Council on Aging, and you serve the meal, clean it up, provide the marketing, recruit people to attend, and so forth. We also work together with senior centers and councils on aging with our SHINE program. So the SHINE program is Medicare counseling, and the way that that works is that we train a small army of volunteers every year to meet one-on-one with folks to review their Medicare plans and make sure that they have all their questions answered with regard to choosing all the right options for their Medicare, which can get complicated and confusing. And if your Council on Aging would like to offer SHINE services in your community, we can, if you send us someone, a volunteer, we can train that person for no charge and provide support and mentorship for that person as they work with people in your community on their Medicare needs. Another thing that we do is we offer grants. So under Title III, we have a fund called the Church Street Home Fund, and we also offer funding under our Age and Dementia Friendly program. So we provide direct financial support whenever we can. We're, like I said, always working to try to bring resources into the community and fund your programs as much as we can. The Title III program is going to be experiencing some funding challenges in the coming years. So just a heads up that those grants may become more competitive in the future. I'll just pause for a second and take a sip of water in case anybody has any questions.
Actually, Lynn, this is not a question. Not a question. It's more of a comment. I want to just thank you and LifePath because I'd like to think we're almost a poster child, Village Neighbors and the 4 COAs for really getting a lot of this stuff and having it really amplify what we can do within our programs. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeanette and Elizabeth. I really appreciate your partnership with, Village Neighbors is really takes a place of pride in our community, having been the first village to be developed, sort of forged the way, and has really been a great role model for other villages, which continue to pop up in Franklin County and North Quabbin. In fact, I'm going to a grand opening of a new village in Athol in a couple of weeks, and there's one coming up in Greenfield.
Interesting.
So thank you for paving the way. I know it has not always been easy. And again, so, we're really looking to, like I said, partner with the entire Aging Services Network. I think between the Area Agency on Aging, the Councils on Aging, and the villages, we have a pretty robust aging network. It's not that there aren't gaps and there aren't people who are still struggling, but we're continuing to work together to try to make for a strong support network for people as they age in place, and particularly with some of our more forward-thinking projects like the Age and Dementia, which I can talk a little bit more later if you'd like. So I will go just very briefly over some of our programs. You may be very familiar with these, but just as you're working with older adults in Shutesbury, thinking about their needs, just kind of keep some of these in mind, that these are available to folks. Meals on Wheels, home care services, various levels, could be as little as someone needing the personal alert button or Meals on Wheels, or maybe they need some chore support, some personal care. There's a whole suite of offerings, and the way that program works is that the case managers will work with you to figure out a program that works for you and meets your needs. And then, like I said, there may sometimes be a copay. It may sometimes be fully subsidized depending on someone's financial situation. We offer elder protective services, which is a program that activates intensive case management for older adults who are in crisis and experiencing potentially self-neglect or neglect. And all of you as Council on Aging members are mandated reporters for protective services. So you'll want to make sure that if you are concerned about someone, that you're going ahead and reporting that, because then that takes the responsibility off your shoulders of having to think, well, should I or shouldn't I? And also helps us to make sure that we can provide those that case management for someone and help them consider options that might help them ameliorate whatever difficulties they're experiencing. And we're going to be offering a training next month on protective services. So if you're interested, watch for that email. We offer adult family care. So we also do programs for people with disabilities, and adult family care will pay a caregiver to provide care in their home for someone who is either a family member or not a family member. So that's an option for, people who may be taking care of someone in their home. And there are a number of smaller programs as well. We have a money management program that helps people make sure their bills get paid on time through volunteer help. We have a Rainbow Elders, which is a LGBTIQA socialization and support program. Phone pals for people who are isolated. And then we also offer supports in congregate supportive housing. So if people are living in, congregate housing situation, our staff are on site there to provide support. We offer a lot of supports for caregivers and support groups. We have funds for respite. If you're working with anybody who needs a little respite from their caregiving, we have other pay and grant opportunities for caregivers. We can also work with folks on dementia coaching. If they're experiencing dementia, either for themselves or their loved ones, we have supports available for those folks. And then we also offer transitions in care. So if your folks are coming home from the hospital or coming from a nursing facility, we can help to make sure that they have the support they need at home to succeed in coming home and recuperating at home. Questions about that's just a tip of the iceberg kind of for some of our major programs. There's a lot, and I would say anytime that whatever you're doing or the village is doing that isn't that more support is needed, that give us a call, because our resource consultants are really knowledgeable about what's available, and they can really help people. Even if we don't offer it, they'll make a connection. If it's like, for example, fuel assistance, we might refer that person to community action, but it's always a welcoming voice on the other end of the line, and we'll make sure they get where they need to go.
So I have a question and a comment. I'll ask the question first. With respite care, would that have to be for a person that's kind of has a case manager and is it already within the auspices of LifePath?
I don't think so. I think that we provide respite care vouchers for people who are new to us as well.
Okay.
The person would just need to call and get the eligibility information.
hmm So that was my question, and I just want to make a comment. And I know no one really wants to hear it, but the one thing that's no longer on this list, which I just find tragic, is the Community Engagement Center, which is not going to be no longer after I think it's June 18th. And I just want to mention, really sad, really
Yeah, it's super
unfortunate,
sad.
so
We're all
so needed.
really heartbroken. I mean, my office is next to the Community Engagement Center, which for folks don't know is an adult social day program. And we just had, I mean, we hear the singing, we hear the laughter and joy, and that's all going. It's going.
Yeah.
And it's really been difficult for us. And the reason is that it was a grant funded program and the grant is ending. So, yeah. Not that we don't want to be doing that. We'll continue to search for resources, like I said. But the funding wins, prevail, and that's what happened in this case. Same with our healthy living program. That was the same situation. Those were the evidence-based workshops to help people deal with chronic conditions, chronic pain, falls prevention, all that that was a federal administration for community living grants, and those grants got caught up in the whole DOGE, whatever that was a year ago, where they were sort of holding up all the funding, and it's still caught up. So once that gets released, we might, think about offering those programs again, but we haven't seen any updates.
But it'll be a lot harder to get them started than yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Enough negativity. There's enough in the world.
Well, we're not going anywhere. That's the thing. I mean, LifePath, and you all aren't going anywhere. It might look a little different, over the next few years as we try to navigate the funding challenges. But meanwhile, there's a lot of people who are, more and more people needing help. As you know, in Shutesbury, you probably have a third or better of folks 60 and over in your community, and the oldest baby boomers are turning 80 right now. So that is only going to result in more need and more support being asked of all of our organizations. And I think working together we'll do the best we can, but I agree it could be challenging. So you mentioned the closure.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
For a while there, it was really hard to get home care up here in Shutesbury for people. Is that still the case?
It's better.
Is it better?
Yes, our wait list was very high about 18 months ago. It kind of reached its peak, and it has come down since then. I would say it's probably still harder in Shutesbury than it might be in Athol, Orange, or Greenfield, just because of the availability of personnel. But we're able to move through our wait list pretty quickly at this point to get services.
Good.
And there are wait lists that are also imposed by the state. So the state reimburses us on a per person basis for providing the services, and they have decided there's going to be a cap on how many people we're able to serve. So that might create some wait lists as well, particularly for certain groups, such as those who have the greatest need and those who have the least need on the two ends of the spectrum are more likely to face wait lists than others. So just a bit of transparency there, and that's more information will be coming about that, I think, from the state as we get into the new fiscal year.
Would that distinction between who need and more need and less need, does that come from financial potential within families?
No, it's not a financial consideration. It's physical needs. So when we talk with someone, we send a nurse out who actually does an assessment of a person's specific needs. So there are people who, like I said, just need a little bit of support at home. The washing machine is in the basement, and that they're not going down the stairs anymore. To someone who actually would qualify to be in a nursing home and need 24/7 care. So those are kind of the two ends of the spectrum. And those are the groups that have the caps currently.
And where do you think the people, we have quite a few people in the community engagement center. Where would they fall with people with memory loss that are, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what stage they're in. The folks we serve in the community engagement center tend to be earlier to mid dementia. But as someone gets with more advanced dementia, they would, you know, certainly be nursing home eligible and might require that advanced care. But you know, everybody's unique and individual, so it's a matter of inquiring. So I guess my message is, I'm just saying this to all of you because we're partners in this work, and you all should know that this is happening. But that shouldn't prevent someone from calling us and getting on the list if they need the help. So just to kind of wrap things up, we can also offer additional support to your senior center, council on aging, and that we have presentations that are available. So we can come and give a presentation to your community residents about services. We can send experts on elder abuse or dementia to talk with community members or with you in further depth. We can set up a table at your local event to share information. And then we also, I set up quarterly-ish networking meetings for council on aging chairs, as well as the heads of the villages, and try to just bring folks together to communicate from across. So council on aging and council on aging. I know you all are closely connected with the other 4 communities and involved in Village Neighbors, but this is just an opportunity to, you know, share information and support one another across the region. And we can send materials, like if you have a location where something is happening, we can, you know, send brochures or whatever you might need in order to sort of get the word out about various programs. Finally, I just took a quick look before this meeting started, and we served, just so you have a sense of the numbers, we served 34 individuals from Shutesbury last year, not including Shine and Protective Services, because those are in separate databases, but in our main database, 34 folks, 20 of those called us and we helped them work through and gave them some information or provided them some resource. And the others received direct services from us. So just gives you an idea of how many folks from your community are working with us, and you know, how many are sort of reaching out to us on a regular basis.
A while back, I was trying to see if we could find a volunteer who would come and learn about Shine, but nobody responded.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a really special person. That the training is amazing, though. I mean, what you learn, it's totally free for folks. It's an 8-week training, and you really learn so much about health insurance. It's very well done. And our program director, Lorraine York Edberg, is considered like the state, you know, expert on Medicare. So you would get, you know, a person, if they have an interest, would get that chance to work with Lorraine and work with that team to try to make sure people land in the right programs. And it can be so important, you know, for people that, you know, huge savings or nasty surprises avoided, you know, whatever the case might be. So I understand it's a big ask, you know, just for someone to put in that kind of time, but our Shine volunteers do get a lot out of the program as well. And they seem to be a very tight-knit, friendly group. So
is it done in person or is it done by Zoom or kind of a little bit of both?
Whatever the person prefers. Yeah. Okay. So we do all of the above, whatever works for somebody.
Mm-hmm. I went to a presentation a few months ago, I think, where there was someone from housing and someone from maybe transportation. It was like 4 people talking on the dais, and it was very good. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Lynn, I have a question. If we were to give you material from, you probably have it from the Village Neighbors, I'm not sure, from Shutesbury COA, about what we offer, could, and our willingness to help, could you pass that information out to the Shutesbury people that come in, that that contact you? Because we're a little bit not on our end. I mean, this whole privacy issues make it difficult to find who needs help.
Yes.
But
Yes, we could do a couple of things. One really easy thing we could do is we can just send out your materials with the Meals on Wheels driver that's going to Shutesbury. So that would be a really simple way.
Mhm.
I could also do an email to, I mean, I'm not sure everybody is 100% on email, but for those who are, that's also an easy way, to reach folks that are active with us and wouldn't violate anyone's privacy.
Can I ask one more question? And this might be a hard one for you to have the data, but out of those 34 individuals, could you tell me if any of them are just Meals on Wheels clients and how many there are?
Sure. So it looks like we have eight folks of that 20 who are receiving home delivered meals.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you just got a new one too that I just met myself.
Okay. Yeah, so we have had an increase in demand. One thing, the food has gotten a lot better for our Meals on Wheels. So I think the word is getting out. We have, like I said, a new caterer that's an employee-owned, minority-owned organization, and they put a lot of love into those meals, and they do a really nice job. So that's one thing. And also, the need is just growing, and there's some insurance plans that once covered certain types of nutrition services and meals that have stopped covering that kind of thing. They kind of keep changing their mind about whether they really want to, help people, live healthy lives at home, these insurance companies. But so we have seen an uptick in referrals and inquiries.
So
I've been going quite a bit to the Congregate Meal at New Salem, and it's really been a treat. The food is pretty decent, and the companionship is really good.
That's great. Yes, they have a lively program over there in New Salem. And, like I said, we can partner with any community who would like to offer such a meal. We can do the meals piece. It's just the Council on Aging has to do the legwork, as it were. And that's not necessarily an easy thing. So, but yeah, we love to work with other communities in that way. And like I said, the meals are improving.
Yeah.
Susan, have we ever asked about the possibility of trying one of these congregate meals just once? We have a wonderful Council on Aging lunch that happens once a month. That's potluck. But we keep wondering if we should try kind of, or does it need to be prepared? I don't know. I mean, what does Sunday do over in New Salem?
Sunday has retired. So
yes, I know
whole
that.
New deal
But
over
prior.
there. But Jessica and I have talked about it a little bit, but we haven't gone further than just talking about it a little bit. I think there's sort of an issue, I would say, for us, for being so close to New Salem. We really should encourage our folks to go to New Salem because they're very open to having people from other areas.
I don't know if they are as much anymore because they're like standing room only. It's hard to get even
I know.
in there. Yeah.
I know. Without Sunday, they're doing more,
Yeah.
like the last one was a restaurant meal.
Yeah. Anyway, these are details, but
we'll talk about
It's been
it.
great.
Yeah.
Just the offer stands, anytime it makes sense for you. And if you go to our homepage, lifepathma.org, right at the top, you can click on menus and just get an idea of the kinds of meals. They have changed. They're not always the same kind of meatloaf kind of thing that they all, traditionally were. They're trying some new things, that people seem to be enjoying. And we're also soon going to be rolling out for congregate sites vegetarian option and an allergen meal and a cold supper option, which is will maybe be nice for the summer, where you get like it's like a sandwich and salad kind of meal where you get the materials and you can make yourself a sandwich and it comes with a couple of salads. So trying to offer more choice. So we're working to improve that program in that way.
That's great. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Do you have any other questions or comments that you'd like to offer? I've taken up a good chunk of your time here in your meeting, so.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Not knowing very much about Meals on Wheels, how would we identify someone that would potentially be eligible for that or needing that?
Yeah. So someone is eligible for Meals on Wheels if they're 60 or over, or if they, in some cases, if you're a person with disability that's living with people 60 or over, we can provide the meals. But you basically have to be unable to prepare a meal for yourself or to travel to a congregate meal site on your own. So for whatever reason, you can't prepare the meal because you are recuperating from a hip replacement and you need temporary support, or you're permanently disabled, or you know, your spouse always did the cooking and they've passed away. You know, like there are a number of reasons why you might be unable to do that, and that's the baseline.
Thanks.
We always encourage people, if they can get out to New Salem or want to, you know, a meal site, to do that, because then they're getting that socialization, which is,
Key.
Susan, as you pointed out, is really wonderful, and really helpful to someone, you know, who might be, you know, maybe isolated or, you know, needing some companionship. But if that's not possible, then there's always Meals on Wheels. And then the driver is also checking on that person too. So that can be a real benefit to, you know, that person's loved ones who maybe would like to be able to get out there to Shutesbury, check on their parent every day, but they can't. So, but we can do that.
So if we know of someone, we can have them reach out to you, and then
Yep,
you
you can ask them to call
Okay.
us,
Yep.
or you can also make the referral yourself, if the person would like you to do that, and then we'll just call them.
Okay.
That's another way to go. If you feel like they might not,
Yeah.
they might not make the call.
Mm-hmm.
So we can call them as long as they give you permission to, you know, make a little referral for us.
All right.
Well, y'all have been so kind to entertain me and hear this update and sort of overview. Happy to come back anytime if you would like me to talk to a larger group. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can consider me your contact, and even if I don't have the answer, and oftentimes I don't, I'm
Fine.
happy to make the connection and make sure you get the information that you need. And I also, like I said, I'll be sending that information about the mandated reporter training, which you might want to consider attending. We will be recording it if the time doesn't work for you, just so you kind of have a sense of that that piece of the Council on Aging mandated reporter role.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got that email.
I think I sent a copy of what you sent out to everybody on the way. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you can't attend, just register anyway, and I'll send a recording out to everybody who's registered, whether or not you join.
Oh,
You can just watch it at your leisure.
great. Thank you so much, Lynn. And I apologize for holding up the works, but it's been really great to have you and learn more about what LifePath can do.
No worries whatsoever, and thank you all again for your time.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was nice. I didn't realize that we could actually make referrals.
I was, you know, the situation we dealt with, was it last summer, Jessica? We could have sent a referral.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I thought that they had to do that. So that's really good information to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're moving on to Ron now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good idea. Everybody got the documents that I sent? Hi, Ron.
Hello.
What would you like to tell us or ask us?
Well, I guess I would first say, what would you like to ask me? What I'm, I don't know how familiar people are with the situation, and we don't have to belabor it at length, but basically, I've been wrangling with the town since January about suddenly stopping to plow
Mm-hmm.
the lower end of Birch Drive, and there's the whole lot of components in there. But they issued a determination that they would no longer plow even though they've been doing it for, what year is this? 37 years. So I issued a rebuttal to their final determination. You have three documents. One is the history of plowing on Birch Drive. One is the determination of the town that was issued in February. And one is my rebuttal. And pretty much my rebuttal blows their argument out of the water, to coin a phrase. And what I'm hoping is to have a collective request for a reply that's just been left hanging out there for, like, I think we're in the third month already. So I'm meeting with the Lake Wyola Advisory Committee for the same purpose on Saturday, and then the following week, I guess it's with the Lake Wyola Association, and also the Planning Board has expressed some interest. So I'm just looking for Council on Aging to join in a letter, and I will send a copy of it, beforehand for people to approve, which basically says, Mr. Mack appears to have contested your decision, and what's your response? We would like a response. That's all I'm really looking for. But I can elucidate on any aspect of it if you need to.
Did the LWA, have you talked to any of the roads people? Have they been back yet?
There aren't really any roads people. It's very, actually, they've been avoiding it pretty much. There
okay.
was, well, Mary Jo can speak to that more than me, but who is the fella that we tried to get involved, and we were told we wouldn't be hearing from him
Yeah.
way back when. So basically, I mean, to provide a frame for it, this is a bit of a struggle with LWA and the town around the larger issue of the roads here. And there are many other people involved on different levels from the community trying to address the road situation overall. But the town has a formal agreement from 20 years ago, policy 190525, something like that, that agrees to plow and sand Lake Wyola roads, with the caveat that the owners maintain the roads to the standards that they need to do so. For years, decades, I was on every year the roads committee, well, not the roads committee, an ad hoc roads committee. We'd get a letter from who was then Tim Hunting, was the DPW super, and now it's David Grenier. We would get a letter saying this road needs this road needs this, and we'd go out with our shovels and rakes and stuff. And oddly enough, in all the years, Birch Drive was never one of the roads that was on that needed repair. So the roads belong to the Lake Wyola Association. One of the components of their determination is that this is a private road. It's not. It's on the assessor's map at the town hall. It's on the assessor's map at the Registry of Deeds. It's, I mean, every point that they made is invalid, pretty much. But in my view, this is the lower end of Birch Drive, of which I'm the only one there. In my view, the town is using this as a test case to engage the Lake Wyola Association and being more responsive to things around the road. So I think I'm just kind of caught in the middle of it. And it's kind of, been wrangling with the town that, that Ron Meck has a problem. Well, Ron Meck only has a problem because they stopped plowing, and he happens to live on Birch Drive, which is not his road, but that's the way it's been characterized. And I've tried to enlist the town administrator in a collaborative approach. And there's a lot to that probably isn't relevant to share right now. But the end result of that is that too bad we're not doing it. And with some very weak justifications. So what actually happened is that the person that does the plowing, David Barron, decided he didn't want to do it anymore, and he went to David Grenier, and he just said, "Well, don't," unceremoniously, with no notice to me at all, and except for on January 1st when we had the storm, suddenly the road's not plowed.
Yeah.
And then, so I said, well, why not figure out how to help out rather than resisting me?
Stop.
You know, well, let's figure out a way. And in fact, the reason I was given by the town administrator when they came down to do this evaluation, well, in the very beginning, I was told there was an evaluation. You know, that's why they stopped. I said, well, where is it? Well, it's not written down. I said, well, what is it? Well, I don't know. And I said, so you stopped arbitrarily and capriciously for no reason that you can give me. And then what ultimately happened was when they came down under the auspices of deciding, quote, deciding what kind of vehicle needed to do it, they were gathering information to refuse to do it. That's what's occurred. So all I'm asking for from you guys is if you're willing to, you know, sign on to a letter, hopefully with LWA, LWAC, the planning board, whatever interested citizens, simply to say, you know, we see the determination, Mr. Meck has offered a rebuttal. What's your response? That's all.
Ron, I have a question.
Yeah.
And my question is, your tone is pretty angry. You would
Definitely.
agree. And
At this point it is, yeah.
I understand that. But you know, the old saying is, and I'm going to have it wrong, something about you catch more flies with molasses than vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Would you accept that letter with more molasses than vinegar?
Would I accept what letter?
The rebuttal, your rebuttal of the determination.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay, the question is, would it be possible that you would accept that letter, that determination, that rebuttal that you wrote, if it were toned down, if it were less angry?
If I would accept it, I don't understand the concept. I wrote the rebuttal.
I understand that you wrote the rebuttal, but you're asking
Determination.
you're asking us the determination. You're asking us
Yeah.
to support it.
No, I'm asking, it's there so that you can see the rationale. I'm just asking for you to ask them to respond to it. That's all I'm looking for. So it's been floating out there for 3 months with no response. All I'm saying is, what's your response to Mr. Meck's rebuttal?
And you want to send us your rebuttal of the determination?
You've got the rebuttal.
We have it already.
We have the rebuttal.
You
Okay.
should have it. You have the rebuttal, you have the determination and the history of the road.
Okay.
So I'm not asking you to engage in any advocacy, though that has been a component of COA throughout this, but it's kind of gotten sidelined by the process the town engaged in. All I'm looking for is, what's your response to the rebuttal?
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ron, I didn't understand that.
Okay.
Well, from my perspective, and I've been observing this rather closely for the whole thing, I don't think that anything in Ron's rebuttal is non-factual. I think that all of the things that he's asking for are reasonable. And I would have no problem if the request is to simply ask the town to reply, which they have not so far replied. I think that's a very reasonable request.
And I think I said that I don't have any questions about the facts, because I think Ron has made the facts quite clear.
And just think of it this way: if Tim did not leave, would Tim still be doing this? That's my thing on, and they should. But
Well, that's an interesting question, but
Mhm.
there's some component of this that's unknown to me.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and I'm not sure what it I'm not sure what it is. Um, I really don't, except for that it's part of a larger issue pertaining. I mean, the premise is that it's extremely dangerous to the equipment of the town. That's one of the premises. And
Mhm.
so my response has been, well, in 300 times of plowing, nothing has ever happened. What is the danger exactly? And as far as the configuration of the road, it certainly could be improved. But David Barron himself graded the road in November, the very
Mhm.
same man who then says it's not safe to plow. So that's another issue entirely. But in truth, LWA should come down and straighten the road out. It's canted, but that's that's a result of the neglect. If there's no inherent problem with it, it could certainly be better. In fact, it's in better shape now than it has ever been. But that's with virtually no work on it at all. Evan Jones would come for the last several years. He's been gracious enough to come and pretty much just push all the sand back up the hill, and we try to time it so it's going to freeze before it rains,
Mhm.
which doesn't always work. And once it's frozen, it's solid, and then the spring it washes out again,
Right.
pretty much for the whole summer. Um, so yeah, I mean there is no inherent problem as they're claiming. It certainly could be better, but that's not up to me. It's not up to me to make it
Right.
better. It's up to the
You're
Lake
not asking
Wyola
them to do that.
Association to make it
No.
better.
Mhm.
Ron, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
When David Boron did work on the road, was that paid by town or was that paid by the LWA?
LWA.
Yeah.
The roads is pretty much the only thing that LWA is supposed to do.
Right.
And with their funds, and they have, I'm not going to quote this, but they have a lot of money
Yeah.
that they claim poverty about, and that's for different people who know more about that than me.
Right.
But the Lake Wyola Association is basically summer people who don't really give a damn about what goes on in the
In
winter.
the winter.
Right. It's
That's
it's
that's part of the problem.
the
And
movers and the shakers leave
and
town.
as far as the town's resistance in using this as a test case, there are many worse places in the Lake Wyola road system than where I'm living at the bottom of Birch Drive.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, one of the reason that the plowing changed when Clarkey used to do it for, I guess, close to 30 years, they stopped doing it because there was nowhere to put the snow, was their main reason. That's how this change happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Birch Drive is like 100 feet wide at the bottom. And when they were plowing it, all the snow from Upper Birch Drive came down to the end of Birch Drive where I live, meaning that is one of the few places in the whole lake community where where you can put snow. So they really have no basis whatsoever. And as my rebuttal says, this is all it's pretty much just a cover up, to disguise the fact that the person that's contracted just suddenly decided not to do it and he was given permission, and nobody wants to admit that formally.
Yeah.
The town violated its own policy in the actions that they took in not plowing.
Right.
Right.
And I think fundamental to this question is, if the town has agreed to plow, can they just stop for no good reason?
Well,
And
I
I
can send
think
you
the
a,
answer should really be no.
well, the answer is no, according to Massachusetts law, and I've sent that to them as well. I'm happy to forward that to you, but the Massachusetts law says if they agree to do it, you have to do it. And
Mhm.
if you don't do it, you're liable for whatever damages may occur as a result of not doing it. So they're not only in violation of their own policy, they're in violation of Massachusetts law.
State thing. Yeah.
Ron, have you thought about involving a lawyer?
Have I thought about it? Yeah, I thought about it. But that's a way of making it go on forever,
Yeah.
because then now they can hide behind there's a legal process going on and they can string it out forever.
And they're hiding behind it now anyway without that. So,
Well, they're hiding behind
Yeah.
whatever they can, but
Right.
I think the reason they haven't responded is they don't have a response.
mhm.
There's not that I'd love to see what their counterpoint would be, and some of it's full of blatant lies, like the width of the road, which they listed at 9.5 in the narrowest part of the road, and Mary Jo can verify that, and Bruce Hartley as well, that the narrowest part of the road is 12 feet wide.
Mhm.
How do you get your garbage picked up with those new fancy garbage cans? I can't even imagine what that's going to be like.
The new fancy garbage cans?
Yeah,
I
well,
know I know
it's
nothing
gonna all
about
be
them.
We have them
robotic.
now.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Um,
But we haul it up to the end up to Great Pines.
Wow.
Oh, there's new garbage cans coming?
Well, yeah,
maybe.
Well, that's
Maybe.
right.
maybe.
Just what
They're
we
gonna
need
all be,
more.
it'll be automated.
Well, maybe the robots can plow the road.
That's true.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
so-
guess my feeling is there should be no reason why we can't support what Ron is asking for. I wish we could do more. But for myself, trying to solve these issues or talk to people about these issues, I've just encountered, kind of roadblock after unbelievable non-response. And it just leaves me scratching my head a little bit about, what's going on and what to do about it in the end. What worries me, of course, is that the town could just write back in the same way that they have twice and say, no, Ron, we're not going to do it. And to be perfectly honest, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, given that they've done it twice and it didn't make sense either time. And the second time, after the Council on Aging actually went to them, Bruce and I went to them, explained everything. Multiple people have explained this. And so it's not like the truth of the matter has not been laid out. The issue is that it hasn't been responded to in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
Who would be the person that would be responding?
I think it would need, honestly,
Well, the town administrator initially,
yeah.
I
we
assume
went-
she wrote the determination,
So,
but I don't know.
Haley?
We've laid it out to the town administrator. Eric Stockton knows about the issue and understands it. Rita knows about the issue and understands it.
And basically just said, I'm not dealing with it anymore.
Jessica Makepeace O'Neill was at,
Oh,
she
no,
was
not
there
Jessica.
looking at the road with me.
Melissa.
Not Jessica.
Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jessica.
It was a make piece.
So Jessica's
Melissa,
responsible.
yeah,
No,
so
I
every
had nothing
single
to do with
member, I guess what I'm trying to say is every single member of the select board is familiar with this situation and nothing has been done about it.
Mhm.
So like I said, I'm kind of scratching my head here. The president of the LWA knows this situation. Nothing is happening.
Does that person live here full time? The president?
No, he's gone and he's only here in the summer.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just end up with a big question mark. And I've thought about addressing it as a larger issue and just saying, we need to meet with the emergency management team and get the, revisit the policy and just make it, just say very clearly for the year coming up, everybody that is living on a legal road around the lake needs to be plowed. Unless there's some major issue that's been shown to be wrong with it. And what worries me about that is that we've already got this letter that misrepresents Ron's situation that they
Mhm.
can, just fall back on. The other piece of this issue is that at no time has anyone, really sat down with David Grenier, who made these decisions. He's been in absentia pretty much from from pretty much all the conversations. I mean, I, I don't know.
It's baffling.
I think that underneath it is the fact that the guys that are responsible for plowing just don't want to back down,
Yeah.
have made this decision and just don't want to back down. And I think that the town doesn't want to hold them accountable for whatever reason. And maybe they think it's hard to get people to plow. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
So let me ask the group a question. Are we ready to come to a decision at this? Do we want more time to think and talk about it? Where are you on this?
Would you like me to step out? Let me say it a different way. If you don't have any more questions from me, I should probably step out.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for persisting, and thank you for involving us and coming to us.
You're welcome. And it's, just to maybe flesh out a little bit more that when I first reached out to Mary Jo about this, it became, and this is part paradoxically of what may have gotten the thing stuck, that the Council on Aging's agenda is larger than Birch Drive, because this is not the only difficult situation here pertaining to plowing, pertaining to ice, sanding. I mean, the level of sanding that goes on even in other places is I've slid all the way down Great Pines and just narrowly missed the oak tree on the corner there many times in the past. So I think that's paradoxically part of what the resistance to me is because, okay, if we go for that, then we're going to have to go for these other things that are being asked for.
Yeah.
So there's larger forces at work, but the solution is collaboration between the town and the Lake Wyola Association. That should be the imperative, that the town will do what they say will do, and the Lake Wyola Association has to keep the roads up. That's the agreement.
Right.
It's a legally binding agreement. It's a contract, and I don't know how come they can't realize that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank
All
you,
right, thank you,
Ron.
Ron.
Yeah, good night.
Night.
Hmm.
So all he's asking us to do is write a letter requesting that they reply to his rebuttal.
Yes.
How do we feel about that?
Properly, not,
Yeah,
they already
right.
have their agenda of what they're going to do with it. And we can agree with him, Ron. And like you said, there are other places in town, but I think his is the tip of the iceberg to start. And will everything else fall? And it has to do with the highway, and I don't know.
To me, I wish that the LWA would step more into it.
That will
Like,
be
I
trying to
mean,
get them to do something,
I
and
know,
that's
but
the problem. They're not going
no.
to do it because they haven't had to.
That's
There's
our
summertime.
problem.
It's summertime, it's
I know, but if Ron had the backing of the LWA, it would be
oh,
10 times more easier with the town,
Yeah. But there was already deals done for years, and everything changed when Tim left,
Right.
basically. And then sudden this new gentleman came in, and I don't know if he was overwhelmed with all this stuff or not. I don't know.
You know, I think that the roads as a bigger issue are separate from Ron's smaller issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, you could say, oh, the LWA doesn't want to spend money to repair Ron's road. But the fact of the matter is, there's no repair required to Ron's
Right.
road in order to be able to plow it.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it doesn't have to involve LWA at all. The real question is the town willing to honor their contract or not?
Yeah.
And it appears that they've chosen not to.
And I can see Susan's reason asking about a lawyer just so that they could say that the state requires you to do this contract that you've done you need to do that. And I can see Ron's thought with no lawyer for them to drag this out for however long they don't have to do it. So,
I mean, it would be really nice
mm,
if they would do the right thing, but you cannot force
correct. Yeah.
at least the COA can't.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe a lawyer could at this point. I don't know what other recourse
Mm,
Ron would have, but
Mhm.
maybe a letter responding to his rebuttal, if he were to decide to hire a lawyer, would give him, you know,
a little traction.
a little bit more traction.
Yeah.
And the lawyer could actually talk to the town lawyer too,
Mhm.
Donna.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how much they've talked to her about this. I don't know if,
Doesn't she live at the lake? Doesn't she have a place at the lake?
Donna does own property at the lake, and Donna, from what I have heard, has not been consulted on this issue at all,
Interesting.
which
That's
she
what I was
probably should have been
wondering.
because this is a legal issue, but
Mhm.
she wasn't consulted. I don't know if she's been consulted since. But as far as I knew from what I heard, she had not been consulted. I don't think, I would like to think that had she been consulted, there might have been a different outcome, but
Mhm.
Well, I suppose they thought that she was not impartial or could not be trusted to be impartial or
Yeah.
could not be considered to be impartial. because
That's a possibility.
yeah. I mean, it never occurred to me when I was beginning to deal with this that she hadn't been consulted. And so I was assuming that she had written this letter,
Yeah.
but then I found out that nobody had talked to her.
I think in her seat, she has to be impartial no matter what. I don't think that, you know, yeah.
And just because she lives on the lake does not mean that she's a part of LWA.
Correct.
Lots of people are not for many,
Right.
many reasons.
Mhm.
But I think in the end, he's just asking us as an aging person, and we are the Council on Aging, to simply bolster, you know, or just say, hey, could you please respond to this letter?
Different.
Mhm.
And
But they kind of already have in a way, they've already made a determination and it's what they want for the determination,
okay,
not what Ron wants. That's my understanding of it. Not
okay,
what Ron, he said there's a lot of things that are untrue with their determination.
Yeah.
The width of the road from being, what do you say, 9 and actually it's 11 and things like little things like that. So,
Yeah. I mean, they have set him two quote unquote final determinations.
mhm,
And each one has been the same regardless of what he has said to them
right.
or anybody else.
it's clear. I'm sure it's clear to you all that my advice to Ron would be to tone down the anger in the letter, but I don't really think that would make any difference at this.
No, I don't think it would.
Mhm.
I hear what you say and I understand that portion.
yeah.
What you said, but this has been going on all winter
Yeah.
and he's just been had a roadblock for everything I mean, give him the guy the truth. That's what we need to find out, why this stuff isn't happening, especially for him.
So I'm in favor of writing a letter of support to Ron's rebuttal of the determination,
Okay.
asking them to give him an answer.
Mhm.
that answers is that. And I'm not saying it's going to be would be in those particular words, but that's basically what I'm in favor of doing.
And if they come back with the same determination to us, then what do we do?
We can talk about it at that point.
Okay, all right. I'm happy to do whatever you guys want to do.
We have the money to pay for a lawyer. But I think that's the next step.
Hmm.
Do we need to vote on this?
We do need
The
to
letter.
vote on this because
Well,
the letter.
letter.
I wonder if we could, I
And
wonder if
somebody-
we
I mean,
could,
if-
Sorry,
I'm
just
providing the concept. Somebody else needs to write it up.
Okay,
Mary,
come on.
would you write it up? Jessica, would you write it up?
wait 1 second, I'm wondering if we can request some kind of mediation. Cause don't they have to offer that too? And is that something that Donna does or someone else? Does anybody know about mediation?
As
I
far
don't
as,
know.
as far as I know, there is no process for mediation or filing a complaint. The town doesn't have that. I think it'd be a great idea to
I
put
know-
certain
I-
people
I-
in the same
so-
room and ask them some questions.
Hmm.
I do know that when Ron had a separate issue that wasn't being handled, they had mediation, but it could have been court ordered. I don't remember. But that might be something we can also look into, getting some kind of a mediator between them, someone that, like, I don't know.
Third party type, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But that's a thought too. Anyways, that was just my thought.
Mhm.
I think it's a good idea.
I do too.
Would it be appropriate for us to add a sentence
Like
in the
that,
says
Mhm.
we think mediation would be appropriate here?
I think so.
that
Yeah.
might be the best thing to have in the letter.
right?
That might be the letter.
That if they're unable or unwilling to reply to his rebuttal letter, that we suggest and are advocating for mediation between the town and Ron.
Mhm.
Does that sound okay? Something like that?
Yeah,
Sure. Mary Jo? Would you buy that?
I think it would be a good idea, but because the town doesn't have any policy, anybody that they normally hire that I know of, I'm not sure what we would be asking for. Like when we say between the town, who in the town would be doing that?
Doing the mediation or
Exactly.
Right.
I
represent?
think mediation is certainly better than the town being sued.
right.
Um, but if the town isn't ready to pay for a mediator, if the town doesn't know anyone who is a mediator, and if the town doesn't have anyone designated as the representative of the town for mediation, I question whether, I mean, to me, having dealt with this whole situation, I would say that the town needs a complaint resolution policy
Mhm.
and someone that they regularly use as a mediator. Because I think that they just didn't really have the resources to deal well with this situation.
But there's gotta be like the mediator for Montague Road with the solar panels. The town has stuff for that. They've done things for that. So they must have someone, but I think it's better that we ask the question and for them to give us an answer. No, we're not gonna do a mediator, or yes, we are, or something.
That would be nice too, having an answer.
Right, that's what we want. We just want the answer, whatever they tell us, and then we'll take it from there.
Would we also be asking for a response?
To his letter, to his rebuttal?
Yeah,
I think we would, but it would be, they could just give us the same thing they gave him. And then
Yeah.
having that portion of having a mediator maybe makes them think a little bit. We're not just going to give the COA the exact same thing we gave Ron.
okay.
That's my thought on it.
You know who's higher than the town administrator is the select board.
Yeah, but they all know about it. Don't they?
Well, Jim Walton doesn't.
Okay. Isn't he new?
He's new.
But Eric knows about it, and I mean,
Everybody else
yeah,
knows about it.
yes, yes. So we'll bring it to him and
I
say,
think maybe we should talk to him about it. He was on the finance committee for a long time. He ought to know he ought to have some good ideas.
yeah,
Honestly, what I suspect is that we would get a better response from talking to people than from writing them letters. Or yeah. Like the email that the Council on Aging sent to the select board went completely unanswered. I mean, we already wrote to the select board about this, and we received no reply whatsoever. However, when I talked to Rita one-on-one, she's very willing to hear me and talk to me about it. When the issues were presented to Eric at the LWAC meeting, he was open to hear it and talk about it.
but they didn't open our
And,
emails.
you know, and I talked to Melissa too at the actual site, and I got her take on it. But one of the weird things is that when you send a letter to the select board, an email, because we asked to be on their agenda, they have no way, because of the way that they deal with open meeting law, to discuss it and decide to put it on the agenda. And so my perception coming out of it is that sometimes the best way to get something done is just to pull somebody aside and say, what can we do about this? Just one-on-one. It at least was a little bit more satisfying to me than sending an email that never got a response.
Yeah.
And we do have Jim Walton, who hasn't heard anything from anybody about it, and may have some ideas about what could be done. I don't know. Technically, this is Eric Stocker's bailiwick, because he, as a select board member, oversees the highway department. Each select board member oversees some part of the town administration. So this is his baby. So that's another potential road that we could go. I mean, somebody could potentially talk to Eric Stocker and say, hey, you know about this situation. What are your thoughts about how to resolve it? You know, do we really want the town to have a lawsuit because that seems to be where this is going? Or, you know, do we want it to be that we're just going to let this misrepresentation of this situation that has been put in writing stand? I mean, I had that conversation with Rita already. Of course, you know, she was on her way out, so it didn't really go anywhere. And it was just before town meeting, and everybody's always really busy then. But I guess I'm happy to write whatever Ron wants us to write. I'm not optimistic that it would sway the situation in the way that he's hoping. Unless he wants to use it to help him with a legal case, which is not really where he wants to go with it. And
No.
I don't think it's the ideal thing for anybody, really.
No,
I guess we
But-
won't know until you do it.
say that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody could talk to David Grenier about it. I think that would probably have carry more traction and have more weight. Somebody who could talk to David Boron about it. Because really where the rubber hits the road, so to speak, on this issue is whether or not David Boron is going to say, "Oh, you know what? Sure, I'll plow the
Yeah.
road," or for David Grenier to say, "You know what? The town has a truck that could do this job," which they do,
Mhm.
and we can just ask somebody to do it, and that would solve the problem.
I'll ask him. I'll talk to him.
Thank you.
No problem. Probably won't remember everything he tells me, but at least I'll get his point of view of what this is all about.
So,
And
Rich, are you talking to Boron or Grenier?
the highway guy, whoever that is, David.
Grenier.
Grenier.
Gren-
Yeah,
the
Rich,
new highway.
I'm a big note taker. It wouldn't hurt to just have a piece of paper so they know you're really listening and people are going to hear what he said. If I could make that gentle
I
thought.
hear you, but I'm trying to go in there I'm not a representative of COA. I'm a representative of the town.
Okay.
What's going on with this?
I
Okay.
have
I'm happy to do that.
I have a feeling that he's just going to refer you to
if he
the
if he
select
does,
board and the town administrator.
if he
He
does,
might.
he
I think
does. Then
I
I'll let you
can
know.
almost guarantee it.
Yeah, I know. But I've been up there when he first came in, and all the stuff that did not happen like it was supposed to for the winterization of everything and stuff that was not handled when Tim left, and he expected all this stuff to keep going on. And whoever in the town was responsible for this, it was like constantly I would go there. Well, should I pardon me. I parked my bus across the way at the top, so I would go in and talk to them on the way home. But you know,
Well, I'm really thankful you're willing to go in there
happy
and
to do
talk.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You guys do so much other stuff, and I'm new at this. I mean, the
I
town
think you're
meeting.
doing great.
Didn't we have a blast, Jess?
We
Standing
did. We
at
had
the
lots
door?
of fun.
Yes, we did. And we had a lot of fun at that other thing too. So I can do this.
I
I'll
think
do
you're
the
doing
best I
great with
can.
the. By the way, I'm just saying that I think you're doing great with the website and the flyers and the tech talk and the emails and anything we throw your way. You're just more than welcome. You're just
And then
more
Barbara,
than willing to help us.
I sent Barbara this thing. It's like, okay, what's the next one? And she goes, well, it'll be a blanket thing. They can do a little bit of this. I'm going, how the hell am I gonna? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll send something out this
Oh,
week.
I thought it was going to be about AI.
No, she didn't. She sent me, she says it can be on anything that we've already done. I expected the AI thing too, but that's
Oh,
not
that's
what
what
she
she
said
said.
today.
That's what she said to me.
Well, then you ask her to send me what she wants to go on, because she sent me the exact same thing and said that I will come in early, I will do this, and I can go whatever questions they have. So I was just going to make a blanket statement.
Like
I'm
a
trying to pull
potluck.
all my tech talks. Okay, we're going to do one about the library. If you have a question about voice activation, if you have about the library or scamming in the holidays, I was just going to do a broad whoever wants to show up. You have a question, she'll answer it.
Let me
Yes.
email her because that's not what
Okay.
she said in my email.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
Right? Or was she talking about another one?
This is supposedly the last one, which is 6. I thought this past one in April was 6.
Okay, so I will email her and confirm because in my email she said it was going to be about AI.
Okay. That wasn't in the one, because I emailed the direct and said, tell me what topics you're going to use. And then she came back with a little bit of everything. And I was like, okay.
And
I can do that.
Jessica, as much as you compliment Rich, if you had had an opportunity, I know you were ill and didn't come to that lunch. If you could have seen him, it was just unbelievable. He and
It
his
wasn't really
sidekick.
ill. I wasn't really ill. I just worked myself to death.
Right,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
right,
that's-
right, right,
yeah,
right. But I'm just
yeah.
saying he deserves even
Right.
more accolades. You don't,
Oh, I'm
you didn't even
sure.
weren't even
I'm
like privy
sure.
to.
No, no, no.
Um,
Okay, so we're going to do two things. Thanks to Rich, we have a conversation with the DP, not DPW, the highway department.
Highway department, yeah.
And we are also going to send a letter that is, or name, I think a letter rather than an email, that's,
Like a printed letter?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
the letter that says, let's please give Rich, give Ron an answer. Yeah,
Are we mentioning mediation or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should mention something of that. If it comes to that, why don't we do a mediation if there's nothing can be resolved?
So, okay. Okay.
and again, are we
Okay.
voting on that?
yeah, we do need to vote on this.
Okay.
This is an official action of the COA. And I have not been taking notes on any of this.
Well, we have a recording. In fact,
Yeah.
can we get AI notes on this? Probably through
sure.
Zoom.
Yeah, but I think if we're gonna, let's have a motion.
I put a motion that we support Ron in advocating for a rebuttal letter and possible mediation. And while Rich speaks to David Grenier and anyone else that we might want to speak to, I don't know if
Mhm.
Mary Jo, you were gonna speak to anybody. I don't know.
I don't know if that should be in the motion though, because
So no.
he's acting as a townsperson.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we should
Yeah.
Yeah.
include Rich's action in the memo.
Okay, it's
Okay.
really just the response to the rebuttal
Okay,
and the possibility for mediation if needed.
if needed. Okay.
I second that motion.
All in favor? Let's see, starting with Mary Jo,
Johnson, I.
Make peace. Aye.
Millinger, aye.
Stockton, I.
Strangler and I.
Great, thank you.
Now Elizabeth was here to potentially speak about transportation, but then left. So will she just be moved to the next agenda, the next
She
meeting?
actually knew she was not going to do it today.
Oh,
But
okay.
she said she wanted to come to the meeting. She was interested in the meeting. I said, sure. I mean,
Okay.
public meetings.
Mhm.
Happy to have
Right.
but no, I asked her I said, it's a busy meeting. Would you mind putting it off a month? And she said, no, absolutely not. I'm babysitting.
Yeah,
I think she was here to listen to Life Path, but she seemed very
right.
focused on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. We need to make sure we know things like that and what services and
Thought it was a good presentation.
no.
It was.
Good.
So it is 7:05. Are we continuing?
I
Or what are we
think,
doing?
I think not. We don't want to continue after 7:00, do we? We'll just have to put everything off. Is there anything that we can't put off until next month? And
I
on,
don't think so.
okay, I do want to just raise real quick one unanticipated. I don't know how many of you were at the town meeting and heard the discussion about the new fire engine, which is going to cost $800,000.
It passed, didn't it?
That I heard.
It
I heard
passed,
something
but
Yeah.
about-
you know,
I mean, it's-
if you were there, you heard the former fire chief say the problem with this new machine. There are two problems with this new machine, and one is it's probably going to be too big to go up some of the streets, the roads, Shutesbury.
Especially Birch.
Yes. So I think we may have
Get
a
a hose.
problem on our hands, and if we're going to get to start meeting Jessica, with the fire department and police chief, this is definitely an issue I think to bring up. That the very least they're going to have to do is come up with a list of what roads they think the new fire truck might not be able to handle,
And
and
the
tell
post,
people about it.
And they really think they're gonna do the trash with these buckets and all that, that's not gonna work.
It'll work on some roads. if you live
Exactly,
On a
but
main
not-
road
Right, but yeah, can you say Montague Road? No, I mean, there's a lot
in
of,
the winter.
And
No, I can't.
Wendell?
they
can't
can't
imagine
they
that.
can't even drive up that road. They don't know to come the other way.
yeah.
They don't know. It's like a luge down there.
Well, I'll have to drag line all the way an eighth of a mile
Yes,
out into the
right.
road.
Yeah,
Like that's not convenient for me,
it'll work for me. It's right out there.
right? For a lot of people,
Yeah.
it'll work nicely.
Yeah,
Not for everybody.
no. So I knew when they took but never mind. So are we ending?
Yes, I think so. Sorry. Thanks for this. I just wanted to not forget that
Mhm.
about it. And I didn't want to say it when Ron was here because it would just be,
That would be,
Fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one thing about the, I would imagine that our aging population in our town will be impacted even a little bit more than families or whatever by the post office closing. Have we, certainly as townspeople, individual townspeople, responded with
got-
that?
some of us got maybe the COA because people assume that everybody in the COA gets the COA mail, and that, as we know, that's not true. Brandon sent out something about what to do about the post office and
okay.
what steps to take. And what I will do, shall I just, I'll forward Brennan's email to
Mhm.
everybody right after this meeting.
I believe
Okay.
there's a meeting about it tonight too.
Are they?
I think the select board were meeting about it tonight,
Ah,
'Cause
about what to do about it.
when we were at the door with our clipboards, every other person said something about post office. Is this a post office thing? And I was like,
Right.
no. So that is on everybody's mind.
yeah.
And if anyone got the piece of paper that you could respond, perhaps at the town meeting, you just want to sign and date it
Okay.
before you put it in the mail. Before you put it in the box to town hall. Just a little
Okay.
hint.
Are they collecting in the in the box?
That's where I put it.
Okay.
And then the person, Brennan, I guess, got back to me and said, "There's now a new. It has to be signed and dated."
Okay.
Okay.
Can we fill that out as the Council on Aging?
Let's do
I
it
don't know
out
about that.
separately.
Do
Let's
it as individuals, I think.
Individually.
They'll-
I
Yeah.
know, but as
Out.
Council on Aging, we can advocate that for our elders too.
Right, Jessica, you get to write another letter then.
Smile,
Okay.
Jess. It's okay.
Okay, 7:10:10. Do we want a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Let's have a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I second that motion.
All in
we gotta-
favor? Oh, no.
We have to
Roll
set
call
our next,
vote.
we have to set our
Mary Jo?
next meeting,
The 10th of June, I
June,
believe it is, June 10th.
oh, sorry.
Second Wednesday of the month, correct?
Okay. Yep, it's the second Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I was adjourning us before we had done that.
I may not be
That's
here for
okay.
that one. But I'll never mind. I'll send you something that I think I'm going to be out of town that day. So I will send you my findings on David thing. I'll send out an email.
Okay,
How's
Is
that?
oh, that's as a townsperson, so you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So motion to adjourn, I seconded.
okay.
All in
Mary
favor?
Johnson, I.
Make peace, aye.
Millinger, aye.
Stockton, I.
Strangman, I.
Okay, thank you for
Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
Be
Seven-
well, everyone.
Bye, everybody.